I'm Derek Joyce and I'm here with Paul O'Murda, and this is I'm Not the Expert, but this is a podcast where we discuss everything from the most complicated things that we know nothing about to the simplest things that we also know nothing about. So sit back, grab a cup of tea and join us. So did you watch The Revenant?
I didn't. I tried to get into it, I just couldn't. And I do like Leonardo. I do like him. Like, he's a good actor. But I don't know.
Isn't that the one he won the
he won the Oscar for it. I just saying that this morning, yeah. And it's like he has very few lines of dialogue in it. Like it's all done with his eyes. You know, it's
acting with his eyes.
Yeah, it's that, you know. No, it is though. Like it's, you know, he gets so much across with just the eyes, like, you know, like the scene where they're talking about leaving him, and I don't want to preempt what you're going to talk about here. But the history of Hugh Glass, which The Revenant is about, where they jump on in the film where they're being attacked by the Ree. Is well into his story. Oh yeah, no, it is. But
so yes, talk the way you're gonna talk, man.
Okay, yeah. So in that scene where he's had to be mauled by the bear and he's, you know, really sick and he's dying.
Really sick. There's a fucking understatement.
Yeah, they think he's dying.
Yeah.
You know? And he's lying there and he can't move, he can't speak, he can't do anything, you know. And they're talking about first they're talking about shooting him. And it's all his eyes, like his eyes are bulging when they're talking about shooting him. Then he's looking at his son and he's looking at the teenage young fella. Yeah. Just all the different emotions that he gets just from his eyes, like it's fucking
no, he's a class actor. And I was actually it was a mystery to me that he hadn't won an Oscar before.
Yeah, he'd been
nominated. But it wasn't because he'd done such inverted commas bad acting, because he just hasn't. But there were just films that just bumped him at the final hurdle.
Yeah, he was pipped by some great performances as well, and he was robbed a couple of times, let's be honest.
I'm not a big Oscar follower.
I'm not.
I'm not the guy that tunes in every year or anything like that.
It's actually funny, this is the first one I've missed in probably 25 years was this year.
And not?
The Irish guy wins it.
Okay, and you're saying you're not an Oscar follower?
I'm not so much anymore. I used to absolutely lap this stuff up. You know, I'd get the hot dogs and the popcorn in for Oscar night. Oh yeah, I used to make a big thing of it. I used to love it. Man. But the more agenda driven and box ticking that it became, the more kind of fucking emotionally mature I got and realised how much box ticking and, you know, agenda shit was going on with it. It just pissed me off, you know. Like there was one year, and don't get me wrong, listen, I don't want to come across like some fucking Nazi fascist here or something, you know what I mean? But there was one year that pissed me off, and it had been a big thing in Hollywood that, you know, black actor hadn't won an Oscar in, was it ever? I think it might have been ever.
No, it's not ever.
It was like, okay, well there had been
in so long, massive
amount of time since a black actor had won Best Actor. So Will Smith won Best Actor, Halle Berry won Best Actress, and fucking Sidney Poitier was fucking given the honorary Lifetime Achievement Award. It was literally like, let's just, you know, we've been called out on being racist bastards, so let's give everything to black people this year. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, that's just as bad. It's just as fucking bad, like. Do you know what I mean? The best guy should win it, whether he's black, white, green or purple, you know? A couple
of weeks ago, I was reading about, have you seen Gone with the Wind?
I have. My mother loved that movie.
Long time ago, yeah.
I love that movie.
But the woman, Mammy, that played Mammy, the black actress that played Mammy, she won the Oscar for that, which is why I said, when you said since ever, I went, no.
Yeah, no, I think it was first black actor to win Best Actor.
She won it, and she wasn't allowed to accept it in the auditorium.
I think we've covered that already.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that already.
I don't know if we did or not. Maybe we did.
She had to stand down the back of the auditorium then after getting her.
She was given it in a different room.
Yeah, just fucking.
But yeah, it's fucking disgraceful.
It is.
And what's the famous actor that was in it? Frankly, my dear, don't give it down.
Rhett Butler.
Yeah, what's his fucking name?
He's the character, Clark Gable.
Clark Gable. Yeah. He wouldn't go, and she's the one that said, no, fucking go. Yeah. You have to go to this.
You have to go.
But he wanted to boycott it.
Okay, cool.
I wonder if he boycotted it.
What it would have done for his career.
What it would have done for the whole fucking industry.
Yeah.
you know, because he was top of his game.
He was.
He was at peak of everything then.
He was a fighter pilot in World War II as well, wasn't he?
I don't know much about him.
He was, yeah. Or bomber pilot.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, he was a bomber pilot. Well, a bomber crew in World War II, yeah. That just came up in Masters of the Air on Apple recently, which, I was reading the book that it's based on.
Back to what I was saying, the Revenant picks up Hugh Glass's story very much into his story.
Yeah.
Like if you're hoping not to get spoilers in this,
no,
when was the Revenant out?
It's out a long time.
Yeah, you're not fucking. You're not.
Yeah,
walking around with blinkers on because it's fucking everywhere.
Yeah, no,
and it's everywhere that you least expect it.
Yeah.
But
I've never seen it, but I people know the story of it because it's just so. Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah,
but
no, I must
from what I looked at about Hugh Glass's story, which is the guy in The Revenant, it was the storyline of The Revenant is very much the Hollywood beginning, middle, and end storyline.
Yeah,
There's an end to it. You know what I mean? And the end to Hugh Glass's story is very much open-ended.
Right.
It's not. It's final.
Is there
which we will get to?
As I said, I haven't seen the movie. Is there a disappointing end there?
In the movie?
Yeah, because
there can't be. There can't be because it's a movie, or people would leave the cinema and go, "Fuck that shit."
Okay, so they changed.
So yeah, it was changed, but it was changed. It was creative license. Okay. You know what I mean? So it doesn't.
I don't want to spoil the end of your podcast. That's why I'm kind of flirting around this.
I'll repeat this all at the end, I'm sure, or some way through. But the end of the film is very different to the end of his legend.
Okay, right, okay, cool.
Hugh Glass was born in 1783 in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
To Irish immigrant parents.
Oh, okay, so he's Irish.
He's got Irish heritage.
Irish,
but he's
Scottish
very
heritage,
much American.
Wasn't it?
I don't know. Northern Ireland. I know the parents were from Northern Ireland, so I don't know if Northern Ireland is where the parents are from. There's not much known about his. I mean, what's there to fucking know about anyone's early life in the 1800s? You know?
No, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't written down.
Yeah. So there's not much known, but it's his bear attack is what made him famous, and it's not just the movie that was made that made the legend famous. In history, in the 1800s, early 19 whatevers, he was that's the guy that survived the bear attack. Like it was legend. Yeah, you know, people would talk about it. So I love
the interconnectedness of things. Right there, I was just talking to you off air before we started about a book that I've read recently, and the main character in that becomes world renowned because he faced down a bear when he was a child and got nearly killed. There you go, the interconnectedness of stuff. Okay. Isn't it mad?
Okay, my uncle didn't fight a bear, but he worked in Irish shipping, the Merchant Navy, before it ended. And my dad did too.
Yeah, you were saying that,
They were in port in Alaska, and I'm not sure where, and he came out of a bar and walked straight into a polar bear that was rummaging around bins and shit. And it chased him all the way back to the ship. And they usually have a man posted on the gangway, you know, so people just don't fucking wander aboard, or people don't wander off. And my uncle made the gangplank feet before the bear got him. Like it was that close. And he often talked about it. I mean, he's dead now, but he often talked about it. And we'd be sitting there as kids. We'd go over at Christmas, and every year somebody would drag out their seafaring trips, whether it was my dad and there's loads of brilliant stories. There's loads of brilliant stories. But my uncle would drag out that one eventually. But we'd be on tenterhooks waiting for him to get to that bit. And my dad's stories are so fucking interesting, and I only realised later that they were just as interesting. But we were all waiting for the one. We were all waiting for the one about the polar bear. Yeah, it was brilliant. Deadly. We were all kids. So. But anyway, so that's what made Hugh Glass infamous, right? The fact that he was attacked by a grizzly bear, which I will get to later. He was a seafaring captain in his earlier life. So he was captain of a ship that was attacked by pirates, captured and boarded. Right. And the people on the ship, men, women and children, had been fucking gutted or whatever they did and fucked over into the ocean. Yeah. And they were all wailing and screaming in agony and drowning and shit. Yeah. And the captain who was a French guy by the name of Jean Lafitte.
Jean Lafitte.
Lafitte, 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 John Lafitte. Gave him the choice. You can fucking join them or you can join us. And Hugh Glass went, I'll join you lads.
Yeah.
And so he became a pirate.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, his name was familiar to me. Yeah, I don't know.
Might have been Pirates of the Caribbean or something. They might have, not that I've ever actually seen any of those. Might have,
I don't know.
It's definitely,
I don't know. But his name was familiar to me.
The Pirate Lafitte.
Yeah,
no, it does. It definitely rolls off.
So I don't know, maybe there's something infamous there, but I didn't have a look at that and didn't go off on that angle.
And so he basically says to Hugh Glass, you can join them or you can join
us or join them.
Deadly.
And Hugh Glass went, yep, you, all day long.
I'll join you, yeah.
And so from being a seafaring captain, he became a pirate.
Cool.
So, and he was with them for and this was, you see, it's all very vague because there's no document you can point at. And it is literally just pieced together from other people's information.
Oral history kind of thing.
Not even, if it was oral history, but somebody else's historical document of something else.
Yeah. A ship
something that alluded to it,
or whatever.
That kind of thing. Yeah, so it was about 1816 to 1820, apparently.
And I mean, there is kind of some parts in this story that I was looking at and going, that can't be true. Surely that
See, that's what I was saying about the storyline of the movie differing from the storyline of Hugh Glass. Yeah. If they made the authentic story of Hugh Glass as a movie, as the Revenant movie, people would have walked out and gone, this is bullshit. Fucking, the life that guy lived. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
How well documented is it though, Dale? Or is it, big fish stories? You just wonder, some of it does seem...
There's monuments to him.
I know.
Monuments have been erected to him. So his, again, by...
Oh, he lived. Don't get me wrong. He lived and he did all that stuff. But
again, by accounts of something else that alluded to him or to his story in some way, shape or form. That's how a lot of stuff has been pieced together from what I can gather.
And then you've had to piece it all together for the show.
Well, it's not even that I pieced it together, but somebody did.
You've had to go and...
Yeah.
Because I know you will always verify your source.
Has to be, all that stuff needs to be dragged from different sources. But fucking hell. The life he lived, if they'd made it into a movie, people would have just gone bullshit. And he would have never won an Oscar. Yeah. He'd probably won a Razzie or something like that.
So they just picked one part of his life and kind of
which is why the film starts with them getting attacked by the Ree.
And doesn't go back from being a pirate and shit.
But it doesn't say anything about
how he got there.
It doesn't say anything about what happened after the attack by the Ree, which is something else that I read up on. Right. I skirted around, but I did read up on something.
Okay, well, let's get...
But they didn't go into what happened before the attack by the Ree.
Yeah, which was the piracy and all that.
Yeah, so he was a pirate, and from 1816 to 1820-ish, he was a pirate, and they were around the Gulf of Mexico.
A reluctant pirate.
Well, you're not a reluctant pirate if you're there for 3 fucking years.
Well, true enough for it. But opportunity did knock for him to get away from it, didn't it?
It presented itself, yeah. Around the Gulf of Mexico is where their pirate escapades took them.
Yeah.
In a time of no GPS or no fucking anything, then, they're out there on the ocean, and if you run into them, touch it,
Exactly.
If the data to be believed, about 1820, he and another pirate on the ship, who I assume was made a pirate in the same way, I just got fucking sick of it. Decided we're fucking gone. Yeah. And they swam a couple of kilometers to land.
And they all lived happily ever after.
They landed in what's now Galveston in Texas. Right. Yeah. So I had a look at the US map on Google Maps, and...
Is Texas not landlocked?
No.
Is it not?
No.
I thought it was landlocked.
No.
That's mad.
But it's the Gulf of Mexico. And Galveston, they went north up towards North Dakota, I think it is. Okay. And it's 1,500 kilometers, and
on foot.
Well, on, let's say, Blag the horse somewhere, or a fucking cart or some shit like that.
The river,
but they went 1,000 kilometers north. He was, he grew up to Irish immigrant parents. And what I was thinking about when I was looking into this is when you go off to cut your teeth, inverted commas, in the real world, you'll see, you're going to see your parents. Like when you went off somewhere when you were 20s, whatever, you knew that you'd see your parents again.
Yeah.
When he left, see you later.
Yeah.
That was it. I might see us one day, but how long
you flew the nest and you were gone. That was it.
It was fucking nuts. So when he was already kind of, if he was a seafaring captain, he'd found his feet, so to speak, and he was good at navigating life and surviving.
He was a survivor,
all that kind of thing. Yeah. He made land at Galveston after jumping the fucking pirate ship, and they moved north. And they had to avoid Indian tribes who were Native American tribes, who were pretty pissed with the pioneers at that stage.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
And they'd get more pissed, and rightly so.
Yeah.
But
the Indian Wars are coming, yeah.
To the west, he was, and I said to you off recording, he didn't meet, was it the Ree, you said?
Yeah, I thought
it was the Pawnee.
The Pawnee Indians first, sorry.
I couldn't think of the name, but Yes, it was. The Ree's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But he eventually was captured by the Pawnee, and we'll get back to them in a minute. But while he was making his way 1,000 kilometers north, he and his mate had to avoid, to the west, there was a tribe called the Karankawa, Karankawa. Karankawa, who notoriously captured settlers.
Ate them
in a dish they cooked that they called the long pig.
What?
It's not deadly.
I never knew Native Americans were cannibalistic.
Well, it's the same as like when in Australia, when white people got there, Aborigines thought they were pigs walking on two legs. Look at the complexion. Look at the complexion of a pig and the complexion of a Caucasian.
Yeah.
They're fucking so similar. It's not even down to what they look like, but
colour.
Look at the colour of that pig over
tasty.
There. Look at the fucking colour of that one there, and that one's on two legs.
Yeah.
So, it was an assumption in a time where there was no education about anything. So these guys, the Karankawas, they would
eat the long pigs.
Eat their long pigs. Yeah. So they did eat pioneers.
Fuck me.
I said they were to the west, they were to the east.
Sorry.
Okay?
Yeah.
To the west, there were a tribe of Indians who were just marginally pickier in their dietary requirements.
A bit more civilized.
Yeah. They only ate the hands and feet of people that they believed that they caught because they believed it gave them speed and strength.
Oh man, that's even worse.
Yeah, well, how do you want to be eaten? Whole or hands and feet? I mean, you're not surviving the hands and feet thing anyway.
No, probably not.
So either way, you're fucking gone.
You're dead.
Yeah. So he was eventually caught by the Pawnee.
Yeah.
When he was caught by the Pawnee, him and his mate, they were going to put them to death. And they weren't going to eat them or any shit like that. They were just putting them to death. So they got his mate, and I'm calling him his mate because this is the guy he jumped ship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The guy that he was travelling with, his travelling companion, whatever. If the two of them jumped together, they probably were friends.
Friends. We'll see how great friends they were. Right, so his mate was forced up to be killed.
Right.
And the Pawnee Indians,
and it was quick and
Pawnee tribe,
I'm sure, wasn't it?
Stuck him with pine resin and the needles, needles, thousands of them all over his body, and then set them alight.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So it wasn't quick.
Did I say they were a bit more civilized?
At
least they cooped their pigs before they eat them.
How fucking civilized are white people?
True.
So they killed him, and then they turned to Hugh Glass, and it was your fucking next buddy.
Europe.
Yeah, and he took out apparently some vermilion.
Okay.
Which is a deep red, deep orange.
It's a red ochre or dye. Yeah.
And it's like, we were talking again off recording, the amount of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stature.
The amount of stature and prominence and eminence that somebody could get, and prestige from just fucking being a purveyor of dye, of colour.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff was fucking amazing. in the 17th, 18th.
Yeah, it was gold dust.
1900s. Well, early 1900s. Yeah. So we were talking back in medieval times. Purple was so hard to come by.
Yeah.
And that was just so sought after.
Do you know
which
how
is
they
why
made
nobility.
purple in the end when they eventually discovered how to do it? It was crushed up seashells. That's how they made purple.
They're the fucking secrets.
And they're not easy
but that's
to get,
why
like, you know?
your nobility that you'll see in all the pictures that you see all wore purple because it was so expensive and so hard to come by.
Clergy, yeah.
So this Vermilion,
and still even today the clergy wear it.
Vermilion dye saved Hugh Glass's life.
Right.
And he became an honorary member of the Pawnee tribe.
Okay.
And he stayed with them for 2 years.
So instead of being pine needle to death and burned, he became an honorary member. That's
honorary
a
member.
Stroke of luck, isn't it?
And he stayed with them for a couple of years. He seems to have a couple of years cycle in him.
Yeah.
Then he just fucking moves
bored.
on.
He had ADHD, that's what it was.
And he even took a Pawnee wife.
That's right.
Now, in the movie The Revenant, he's got a son. But there's absolutely no evidence of that has ever been found. That he
so that's
had
a bit
sons.
of Hollywoodness.
Maybe that's creative license.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but everything I read, they were saying there's no indication that he ever had sons.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's interesting. And then what happened to the Pawnee wife? What, did he fuck off and leave her, like?
In January 1823, he accompanied the chief of the tribe, the Pawnee tribe, to meet. And this is a date that brings me back to what I was saying to you about it all being vague and history being vague, because he was supposed to go from, he was with the pirates from 1816 to 1820-ish.
Right, and then he's
and
with the Pawnee.
Then he's with the Pawnee for
roughly 3 years.
So he's within that time frame for it to be correct, but it's still very tight. It's very close, you know. So something overlaps somewhere, and probably somebody.
Lad never gets a breather. Like he goes from one
just
trauma to the next.
Yeah. In January 1823, he accompanies the chief of the tribe to meet with the U.S. Superintendent of Indian Affairs in St. Louis.
Right.
It's so fucking condescending. That's a white man's title.
Yeah.
Goes with the chief to meet this guy. After the meeting, and I assume it's because he had his taste of inverted commas civilized life, he says to the chief of the tribe, I'm staying here. And he didn't go back with him.
Right. So he just fucked off the wife.
So you were asking what happened to the wife. The wife's back doing wife things with the tribe, and he just says, I'm not going back. Jesus. Yeah, so that was that.
A bit of a dick.
I think they all were.
Yeah.
You know?
It was just different values back then, wasn't it, I suppose?
Different values all the fucking time. Every generation has different values, doesn't it?
That's true.
Yeah, so he stays in St. Louis. He then answered an ad in the Missouri Republican, which was a newspaper, looking for 100 men to leave relative comfort of the town, because, I mean, how fucking comfortable was that?
Yeah.
And become an employee of the Rocky Mountain Fur Company.
Yeah.
And head into the mountains to trap beaver for a couple of $100 a year.
Okay, which is a lot of money.
Which was a lot of money. Yeah, it was. And he'd learn all his hunting and trapping with the Pawnee. Yeah. And he'd just spent 3 years with or so.
Yeah.
So he was well up for this. Yeah, he knew his game. And I just want to make the point, at this time, Glass was 40.
Okay, so he's not a young man.
40 years old. No, he's not a young man, but he's an old man for a wilderness man, for a mountain man.
Absolutely.
Like, they didn't have a very long lifetime. No. Not that many people there did.
Yeah, this guy's only getting started.
Well, you know, he's kind of halfway through his story, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a fucking, what have you done with your life? I was a captain, I was a pirate, I was an Indian. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not getting to the meat of it yet, though. Do you know what I mean? Like,
not getting to the movie.
Well, yeah, the movie, but there's more to it than just the movie. Well, I would assume having not
there
seen
is.
The movie.
Yeah, there was lots. He joined these 100 men, and they were going into the Rocky Mountains to trap beaver for their pelts and stuff like that. It was led by a guy called General William Ashley, and they set out on the Missouri River. And apart from one bloke falling overboard and drowning on the first day, it all went relatively well.
Okay.
If you don't count the 3 men that were blown to bits because one of them lit their pipe too close to a pile of dynamite.
Oh, lovely.
So, yeah, it was just fraught with disaster, the whole fucking thing.
Darwin Award goes to...
Yeah, well, it can go to the guy who fell overboard and drowned.
Yeah, or to the guys who blew themselves.
Well, one guy blew 3 guys up. Yeah, but blew them apart. Yeah, blew them up.
Fucking idiots.
Nuts. Fucking nuts.
Was that on board the ship, the fucking dynamite?
Yeah. And your man was standing there having
and it didn't sink the ship.
Having a puff on his pipe.
Yeah, but it didn't sink the ship.
Well, it was probably on the deck. It was probably on the fucking prow or some shit like that, and it just blew them all apart.
Lovely.
So yeah, blew them up. Ashley went ashore to negotiate with the Ree, who you were talking about, who are the first guys in the film.
Went to a nasty bunch of bastards.
You know, I'm not even going to say the Ree were nasty or the Karankawa were nasty or the other guys were nasty, because the fucking whites were just as nasty.
Oh yeah,
everybody
they were, but I mean, some
yeah.
of the shit that, you know, allegedly in front, you know, that they were supposed to have done was pretty fucking nasty, alright. But then again, they are just fucking defending their own lands.
Yeah, there you go. Ashley went, and maybe the boat was fucking knackered, because he went onto land and he went to negotiate with the Ree for 50 horses. 50 fucking horses.
Well, they've obviously either reached their destination or the ship was so damaged from the TNT
that they couldn't go on. Yeah.
Couldn't go
so
further,
he went and he negotiated for 50 horses, and the chief of the tribe said, fucking no problem if you can give us some gunpowder. And Ashley went, absolutely, what could go wrong? Right? So they made their transfer. So that night they camped on the bank, and
I know where this is going.
some of the guys celebrated, and obviously this is not in the movie and you'll now know why. Some of the guys celebrated by going off to the Ree camp
and raping the women. Is that what you're going to say?
And having sex with some of the women. I don't know if it was rape, because I'd imagine if they'd fucking raped anybody, they would have been skinned by the fucking Native Americans.
I thought that's what you were going to say. No.
Yeah, but no. So a bunch of them went and they had sex with some of the Native American women. Right. One of the guys, his name was Aaron Stevens. He was one of the trappers, one of the 100 that went north, that went to the village.
Isn't it Aaron Stevens?
Yeah, went to the village, had his throat cut.
Okay.
Obviously, overstepped the mark, but had his throat cut. And he wasn't the only one in the village. Like, a bunch of them had gone there, and the others came back. So it was obviously he transgressed or something.
He raped somebody.
Or maybe did, or maybe he just punched the shit out of the girl afterwards, because that was his thing. But somebody went, fuck you, buddy. And either she cut his throat or one of the warriors cut his throat, but his throat was cool. Okay? And they all came back to the camp. The Ree attacked the camp the next morning at sunrise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had obviously been bold boys in some way.
Or something. There were 15 trappers killed, and Hugh Glass was injured. He was shot with an arrow in the leg or something like that, but he was injured. And they made their way to safety by the boat, going back down the river the way they'd come.
Right.
So that was the end of
the line.
that particular insertion into the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, they weren't going back.
What the film doesn't cover is, and what I didn't look up extensively, is that Ree encampment was counterattacked by mountain men, I think, and by the US Army, and by the Sioux Indians.
That's right,
because they all hate each other.
Yeah, it was so tribal.
Yeah.
Something in a couple of episodes where we touched on Native Americans and I've done a bit of research, like, they were so tribal, it's mad.
Celts were tribal as well.
Exactly.
They were all fucking separated.
All fighting for resources at the end of the day. That's what it's about, isn't it?
That's it.
Resources.
But I don't have much on that, but I did read that it was counterattacked. All right?
Yeah.
Your man had his throat cut. They got attacked the next morning. Some of them were killed. Hugh Glass, among others, were injured, and they beat a hasty retreat on the boat back down the way they'd come.
Yeah. So who attacked the reader?
Well, that was later. That's what I'm saying. It was a counter-attack.
A revenge attack more so.
Yeah. After recovering, Hugh Glass headed out again. And by this time, the party had split in two. And Hugh Glass went with a guy who controlled that group called Andrew Henry. Okay.
Getting kind of Marsh and Cope kind of vibes there, where you had the two groups with the same aim, heading off roughly the same direction. So I'm assuming there's going to be some rivalry.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. I didn't even read about that, but one of them headed east, one of them headed west.
Oh, they headed
relative east, relative west.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So they were going into the Rockies, but one went over to the left, one went over to the right. That kind of thing. In August 1823, while out looking for food, Glass wandered into an unusually flat clearing.
Yeah. Yep.
This was the bear attack.
Yeah.
He'd wandered into a bear nest and was charged by the mother. She tore chunks of flesh off his arse and back.
And and threw them to the cubs. Yeah,
threw it to the cubs.
That was the bit I was saying, like, can that be real? Can you survive that?
He did.
Yeah.
But she tore chunks off him, and his face was hanging off him, and his fucking... You were saying Leonardo DiCaprio did all his acting with his eyes. Apparently...
One of his eyes was ripped out, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know about that. But Hugh Glass couldn't talk. His throat was in a fucking mess. The fact that he didn't bleed out is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
As the mother bear mauled him, she held him down, and the kids got practice.
Kids had a little go at it,
yeah. Eventually, the other mountaineers came to his aid at his screams for help, and they killed the mother bear and the 2 cubs, or one cub beat it off into the undergrowth. Which means he's probably fucking dead anyway.
Yeah, no, well, yeah.
But yeah, when I saw that in the film, I felt sorry for the fucking bears.
Yeah.
It was fuck the people.
They rambled into their fucking home.
Yeah.
You know?
That's not even why I felt sorry for them. I just feel more sorry for animals than I do people. I don't know what
especially
the fuck
fur trappers.
Yeah. But anyway, they bound his catastrophic wounds like he was fucked.
Yeah, he's absolutely ripped apart. Like.
Yeah. And they made a litter out of branches to drag him on.
But that was a bit later, wasn't it? Was it not? Did they not stay with him for a while? And
no, that's what we're leading up to. But the initial thing wasn't, let's wait until he dies and then we'll fucking go.
Yeah.
It was they bound his wounds. They were going to drag him to Fort, I don't know, Kiowa. I don't know what the fucking name of the fort is. But they were going to drag him to there and get him medical attention, or at least try and fucking give him somewhere comfortable to die.
Yeah.
Relatively comfortable to die. And they made him a litter and they were dragging him. They dragged him for 2 days. And they were well aware that there were hostile Native American tribes
all over the place, and he was slowing them down, basically.
And basically, he was slowing them down.
Yeah.
So Andrew Henry said, right, listen, I need 2 volunteers. Stay with him till he dies. Give him a good Christian burial, and then catch up with us. Catch up with us in Fort Henry. Actually, the name of the fort.
Fort Henry,
Fort Henry was his namesake.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So they were going to catch up with them, and he was going to get them something between 80 and the figure that was thrown in was $400, but that's like 2 years pay just to stay with him, to run the risk, endanger your life, stay with him, give him a Christian burial, and then join us back at the fort. And so this guy called Fitzgerald, and this guy,
young lad.
What was the young lad called? Bridger. Yeah, decided, we will. Okay. They stayed with him and listened to his moaning and groaning and wailing for 5 days.
Yeah.
And he didn't die.
Then they decided to shoot
Still didn't die. So it's a week later. Yeah. It's a week after the bear attack, and he hasn't died.
Yeah, and they're like, come on, lads, we got to get moving.
TikTok, buddy.
Die, will you? For fuck's sake. So they decided they were going to shoot him then, didn't they? Or did they?
I mean, it might be creative license for the movie.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen the movie. I'm talking about the
but I can't remember.
That might have been picked up from the movie then.
They dug him a grave, apparently.
Right, okay.
And they just dragged him into it.
Oh, okay. They left him.
Took his rifle, which was his favourite fucking rifle. Don't know why he had loads, but then I don't know why people have rifles. And off they went. And they left him there, and he wasn't dead.
Right. So they left him for that, basically.
Yeah.
Lovely. And off they went to claim their...
Catch up with the guys and get their money. What happened to him? He died. We buried him. Christian burial. Give us our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wankers. Except...
But Glass didn't die.
Yeah, he didn't die.
Yeah. He avoided hunting parties from various Native American tribes and dragged himself over 200 miles across South Dakota to Fort Kiowa. It took him 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 fucking weeks.
6 weeks to walk 200 miles. That we did.
6 weeks to drag himself. He didn't walk it.
Yeah.
He dragged himself 200 miles. Yeah.
Well, he did eventually regain enough strength to walk.
Well, you see the thing. He met, I think it was Sioux. I think it was the Sioux Indian tribe.
Yeah, it was.
I keep calling them Indians, which I keep...
Well, you're using the vernacular of the time.
Yeah.
They would have been called Sioux Indians at the time.
I'm not happy with myself. But
I know, I just, I understand why you're doing it.
The Sioux were friendly with the pioneers.
Okay. At that time they were. Yeah. That wasn't the last.
Which is probably why there was, in that counterattack on the Ree I was talking about, the US Army accompanied by mountain men, accompanied by Sioux.
Yeah.
There were Sioux there, and that's probably why.
Yeah, that allegiance wouldn't last.
He happened upon the Sioux tribe, avoiding all the others, to his fucking benefit. But they fed him and they dressed his wounds.
Yeah.
And they any medicinal.
Very interesting way they dressed his wounds.
Well, that's
You got that? No, that? Or,
No.
Right.
Well, I've got the movie version.
No, this is not. Again, not. Well, I don't know if it's from the movie because I haven't seen it. That's
Okay. Well, go on. I'll tell you.
What I read was that they sewed buffalo herd.
Oh yeah, onto his skin. Yeah.
To cover, and those. Did they remove the maggots or did they put the maggots in?
Oh, they fucking removed them. He was covered in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to get rid of them.
Yes.
Yeah. But they did.
They
sewed
they did also use maggots
buffalo
for
hide
removing.
over his skin. It was like skin grafts. Yeah.
But at that time, they would have also used maggots to kind of treat infections as well. That's why I was wondering if they left the maggots in them.
Okay, he was covered in maggots anyway.
Yeah, after covered in them, eating his wounds. They were eating them alive. Like.
Well, maggots only eat dead flesh. They were, as disgusting as it was, they were fucking doing something good.
Yeah. They were treating his fucking infection.
They treated his infection, and eventually he made it to Fort Kiowa, and everybody there was.
Fort Henry, though.
He didn't.
He didn't know where they were.
He didn't go. He didn't say, "Well, we were headed to Fort Henry. That's where I'm going to go." No, he just dragged himself to the nearest one he could think of, and that was 200 miles away.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, isn't that fucking?
It's
nuts?
nuts. It's insane. Like.
Yeah, fucking nuts.
I couldn't walk 200 miles in 6 weeks. I'm my fucking drivers. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, fucking hell. That's fucking nuts.
It is crazy.
Okay, it's probably a bit further. That's from here to Galway. Yeah. From Dublin to Galway.
Yeah. Dragging yourself across country.
Yeah. Bollocks. Don't think so.
Chasing you. I don't know. And that is the bit I was kind of saying to you. Can it be true?
Can what be true?
That he did that. Like, is that even possible? To drag yourself 200 miles while being half fucking ripped apart by a fucking bear, like.
That depends on your mind.
No, it depends on your fucking body. Like, you know what I mean? No mind over matter can stop you bleeding out or fucking succumbing to a fever or just exhaustion.
Would you, while you were out hiking and had an accidental fall, trapping your arm under a rock, cut your own arm off and then get to safety?
I don't know.
One guy did.
I know, yeah, I know.
There's a story, and I'm thinking of a film I saw a long time ago about a mountaineer who fell and blew out his knee on Mount Everest, and they left him for dead. Because when you climb Mount Everest, there's a tacit understanding, you fucking get injured up here, you're done, buddy. Because if you go, if you're injured and we don't leave you, we're all dead. Yeah. So he was left. But he made it back. He made it back, hobbling down the fucking mountain to base camp, and then was airlifted out.
I suppose.
Would you be able to do that?
No.
But my point is, it has been done. So.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like, I do, I get it. It just seems so fantastical.
It is. It's amazing.
200 miles while, like, practically half dead.
Yeah.
Or 90% fucking dead. You know?
Apparently, he ate berries, snakes. I don't know how he fucking killed snakes, but he killed snakes and ate them.
Sharp stick will do it.
And he happened upon a pack of wolves that had made a buffalo kill, and he waited until they'd had their fill and moved on, and then he went and fucking ate some.
He scavenged the the carcass, ate some raw buffalo meat, which apparently also aided in his recovery, because raw buffalo meat being full of iron and different things, that it was it actually helped his recovery, as well as just, fucking feeding him because he was starving.
I don't know about the medicinal value of raw meat.
Yeah, I know.
But, he dragged himself 200 miles, so why not?
Meat or anything, but apparently it was good for the infections that he was fighting and stuff, and it helped. Still don't believe he fucking dragged himself 200 miles, though.
So he got to Fort Kiowa, and they treated his wounds, or what was further treated his wounds, and they were fucking amazed that he was alive.
Yeah, and he was still looking for the boys.
Fitzgerald and Bridger had fucking left him.
Yeah.
And so there was like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And Glass caught up with... Fitzgerald wasn't there.
No.
Okay? Glass caught up with Bridger and
he was going to kill him, wasn't he? That was...
No. That's in the movie. That's in the movie.
Okay,
the initial intention was, when I get those two fuckers, they're dead. But... he got to Bridger, and it was pretty clear that Bridger, being the younger, had followed Fitzgerald's lead.
Had no choice,
Against his better judgment, but he'd followed him for whatever reason. So Hugh Glass basically told him, look, we're okay. You've got nothing to fear from me. Yeah. So go on.
Yeah.
And
It was actually...
Fitzgerald he wanted.
Yeah, and he wanted his fucking gun back, basically.
Okay, right,
But
fair enough, right.
Bridger went on to be one of the most famous mountain men of all time.
Yeah?
Yeah, and he did so much. I didn't look into it because that just dragged us away.
That'd be another episode?
Yeah, but we'll go into Jim Bridger at some stage. But he had to retire from mountain man things.
Yeah, like, what exactly is mountain man things?
They go out into the wild frontier because everywhere away from the settlements on the East Coast where the pioneers had come to was wild Native American frontier tribes that fucking eat you because they think you're a long pig or they eat your hands and your feet.
So why are they going out there? Like, what's the...
There were always these people that climb mountains. There's these people that
because
go
it's
out
there.
Yeah,
because it's there, basically. Yeah.
Nobody has been there, so I'm fucking going there.
Right.
I'm not that person.
So they're explorers. They're explorers, essentially.
They just went out and they trapped and they made a living by trapping pelts or beavers and getting their pelts and all that kind of thing. And they were sold all over the fucking world.
So they were just lads who didn't want to be living in settlements, just wanted to be out in the free range kind of thing, yeah?
Yep,
essentially.
I guess.
Okay.
But he got injured and he had to retire from that life. He then became a scout for the army. He became a tracker.
This is Bridger?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he died in his 60s, which is exceptionally old.
Yeah, for that time it is old, yeah.
And I'm sure there are monuments to him, but I don't know where they are. But you know, he wasn't killed by Hugh Glass.
No.
And so that's what he went on to do. In 1832, Hugh Glass.
This is 11 years after the bear attack then, is it?
So this is a decade or so of mountain man things and going out and fucking trapping pelts. And
he's still looking for Fitzgerald, is he? This stage?
I'd say he's fucking there. If you wronged me and I see you in a decade, I'm going to say, see that fucker over there?
Yeah, but it's not his...
It's not forgiven.
But it's not his all-consuming raison d'etre now at this stage, whereas it was when he was dragging himself 200 miles across the land.
Yeah, and maybe that's what kept him going.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
You know.
But he lived his life and I'll cross paths with that fucker again.
Okay, because I heard it, from what I read, was quite different.
Okay,
to that. Was when he left Bridger, he found out where Fitzgerald was. When he left Bridger, he went directly to another fort. I'm not sure what fort it was.
Well, it was all fucking pocked. The whole landscape was pockmarked.
Because he had been told your man was there. Your man Fitzgerald was there. And he went to this fort, and when he got there, Fitzgerald had joined the army.
Yeah, that's
and he was
what
basically told you can't touch him.
Yeah, here's the thing. In 1832, Glass finally caught up with Fitzgerald, but couldn't get his revenge because he joined the army.
He joined the army
and
he was
the captain said, he's now an employee of the government. And if you kill him, I'm going to fucking kill you. Yeah. I have no choice.
You'll be hung. Yeah.
And Glass said, well, this wanker, this what he did, this, left me for dead, took my gun, and they forced Fitzgerald to give his gun back, which he still had. So this is 10 years later and he still had the fucking gun. This is a good gun.
Like, it's a good gun. It's not just some Mickey Mouse fucking gun. Yeah. It's not just sentimental. Like, this is obviously a fucking really good gun.
Yeah, but he still had it. But I'd imagine, like, he couldn't kill him. And if we go back to the Revenant, if that was the end of the movie, you'd be like, what the absolute...
Yeah, well, that's... see, that was the end of the bit I watched. The fucking videos I watched and the stuff I read, it all kind of ends with that when he finally tracked him down, he was untouchable. He couldn't touch him because he was property of
I'd
the
imagine
US government.
Fitzgerald's life didn't get a whole lot better after the army had found out what he'd done.
Yeah.
I'd imagine his name was fucking mud after that.
Probably, yeah.
It was like, fuck you, buddy. So I don't know what happened to him. Historically, that'd actually be interesting. I should have fucking looked that up.
Yeah.
But I wonder what happened to him. But you know, his life...
Might be a part 2 in this, you know.
I don't think I'd throw away that long reading into what Fitzgerald had done.
Not just Fitzgerald, but there's a few other...
Bridger, maybe we'll touch on Fitzgerald after...
There's a few other threads that we've left hanging here.
Because Bridger was apparently brilliant.
Yeah.
But Fitzgerald, fuck him. And he probably had a shitty...
And there's the pirate Lafrette as well we could look into.
Lafitte.
Lafitte. So we could
I don't know.
There are a few loose threads. Let us know on the social media whether you'd like us to pull on some of those threads. And we'd be glad to.
You know, like I said at the beginning, I'm probably going to fucking do it anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I'd imagine Fitzgerald's life got fucking a whole lot worse after he met up with Glass
Possibly,
again.
or maybe fucking
You wouldn't
soldiers
know.
didn't give a shit,
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'd like to think it did, but I don't know. People being people, they probably didn't give a shit.
Well, the captain forced him to give back the gun.
Yeah.
So he gave a shit enough
To get the gun
hear
back.
Glass out, and he was like, "Listen, what's your fucking boggle, man?" And this prick over here fucking left me for dead, took my gun, and he was like, "Fucking come here to me, you." I made him give the gun back.
Give the
and
man his gun.
I'd imagine there was, if not punishment, but behavior on becoming an officer or a fucking
I know, but
soldier.
soldiers and fucking 1840s men being 1840s men.
Well, it wasn't 1840s.
Or
it was
1840s, whatever, yeah. They probably just put more value on the fucking gun than they would have on the fact that he left them for dead. He stole his gun.
But it's still
He stole the
behaviour.
man's gun.
It's still behaviour unbecoming of a soldier.
Maybe.
So maybe there was something in it.
Well, I mean, there is a suggestion of cowardice there, isn't it?
Absolute cowardice. There's no suggestion at
they
all.
They fucking left them and legged them because they were afraid of the Indians that were around. Yeah.
Get out of my sight.
Yeah.
Captain? Don't think so. Not that he was the captain, but, demote him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get out and clean that fucking shite hole out there and take it away.
That trench.
Yeah.
The latrines. Deadly.
Hugh Glass continued to be a fort trapper for a further year before he was killed by a Ree war party in 1843.
So the Ree did get him in the end?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And it was on the Yellowstone River.
That's right, yeah. I did remember seeing something about the Yellowstone, all right.
It's not known, from what I was reading, it's not known how he died, but...
Probably pine needled and burnt or cooked.
Nobody said how he died, and nobody found his body. Like, oh shit, look, it's fucking Hugh Glass, look, he died, oh no. It was a Ree warrior was found with Hugh Glass's rifle
Right, okay.
a year later or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not up to a year, that maybe he died a week later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was found with his rifle, and this is Hugh Glass's gun. What do you do with him? They've no idea who he is.
Yeah.
And,
So he was scalped or whatever he was,
or whatever, but he died.
That sucks.
Nah, they're all fuckers.
Yeah, fucking what goes around comes around, I suppose,
Yeah. So Hugh Glass was still in the employ of Andrew Henry. That I told you he joined the group. They went off to the left and
he
the
was
others
one
went
that
off
left
to the
and
right.
left with the other two guys. Yeah.
Was still in his employ in 1833 after he'd not been heard of. Like, he'd been with him over a decade.
Yeah.
That group was known as Henry's 100. They were his most
They were the 100
trusted
guys
men.
that went up the river to get the fucking bet.
But it's not
Beaver
the
Hills.
100 from the beginning.
Oh,
because they all
sorry,
spread off.
yeah,
But
sorry,
they were Henry's 100. They were his men.
Right.
They were known for being Andrew Henry's most trusted trappers, most trusted mountain men, most trusted frontiersmen, whatever you want to call them. When Hugh Glass died, he was 50. He was still active and he was 50. And that's fucking unheard
That's old
of.
for that time.
That is.
It is.
And they were referred to by other frontiersmen, other mountain men, other trappers as
the old man in the mountain sort of thing.
There's old man Glass, or whatever the fuck his name was.
That's cool.
They were revered.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Grizzly Adams kind of thing.
I can't imagine what it'd be like to live in that kind of environment. Not that that's what they did. I can't believe. I don't know if I'd be able to trap on, but to live like that. I'd love to do a subsistence living thing for a year.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd love to.
No, I like my comforts.
I'd love to. Jeez, I'd love to do the Alaska thing. You know, the way they go off and they trap animals and they
I can arrange
smoke.
that. I can arrange that for you. I've got friends in Alaska who basically live that life.
I'd love to do
who are completely self-sufficient, like, and that they'd welcome you with open arms if you wanted to go and visit.
I'm really bad with the fucking cold, man.
Yeah, well, see, therein lies the problem,
terrible,
Your ears are torn fucking
really
black, Dale, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I'd be wearing fucking snow boots all the time.
Yeah.
But, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do that subsistence living.
Yeah, no, it's, Jesus, no.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Come here, I'd love to have a little vegetable garden and stuff like that and, kind of grow my own food. Like, yeah, by all means, but I ain't.
I've already done that, man.
I ain't going to live in the fucking wilds now.
Yeah, I'd love to.
And don't get me wrong, I love nature, I love the wilderness and all that, but I like to look at it and,
See, I was watching
maybe go camping for a week.
I was watching this podcast where they were saying, like, who would survive? Not an apocalyptic thing like a fucking...
Oh, these fucking...
No. Not an apocalyptic thing like a nuclear war or anything like that, but who would survive if life as we know it in our... And I'm not talking about human life or anything like that, but
like an EMP
you're living
or something.
your living comforts, your internet, your central heating, all that kind of shit, if all that just stopped, who would survive? And people that live in cities wouldn't survive.
No, be fucked.
There's like a week of food tops.
Yeah. So you seen it during COVID,
city.
the panic buying and everything else when COVID was announced. Like.
Yeah, the fucking bog roll.
Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. Did you go out and buy extra bog roll?
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't, because it was fucking ridiculous. We knew the shops weren't going to close. I mean, everyone was telling
bread
you.
and bog roll, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, even fucking the fucking beast from the east, even before COVID, and the milk and fucking bread was fucking
I don't
whipped.
remember that. I remember the beast from the east. I don't remember the rush.
They were robbing bread off the fucking things as they were taking it out of the bread vans outside shops.
Yeah, if you're not from Ireland, the beast, or from the east, the beast from the east was a really cold snap.
We got snow for about a week.
And it was cold. And it was significant.
Yeah.
I mean, it was significant for
air
Ireland.
climate.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just another Tuesday for fucking New England, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah.
But, I mean, literally people raided shops for bread and milk. Just
it was ridiculous.
Ripped it apart.
It's fucking hilarious. You know, there's this stupid fucking program on Irish television called, what's that one where they do the years?
Reeling in the Ears.
Reeling in the Years.
I love that show. What do you Stu? That's a great show. I love it.
Shite.
But
they'll show an episode in 20 years about the beast from the east and just the absolute
carnage
fucking carnage.
In the shops. Yeah.
People going in and looting shops.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they didn't loot. They paid for shit, but they
some
just
did. No, but some of them were
shelves.
literally like the fucking Pat the Baker was taking the fucking, those big cages that they have fucking on wheels with the bread.
Used to do it with me dad.
People were just ripping them out of the cages and running off with them.
Yeah, no, we didn't rip them out of the cages.
Insanity,
and run off
like.
with my dad. I was a delivery man with my dad.
Yeah, well, there you go. People, they weren't even getting in the door of the shop.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts. It was hilarious and ridiculous.
Nuts.
But they say there's only enough food for like 3 or 4 days in cities, a week tops.
Yeah.
And after that, people just fucking start.
Yeah, well, they say civilization is only fucking 4 meals away from fucking anarchy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's a very tenuous existence. So I'd love to do subsistence living, but the people who would survive are the people that live on the land. Are the people that know how to track.
Oh, of course. I understand that. Yeah. Like I do. I get that, but the chances of us living through an apocalyptic event are fairly slim anyway.
No, I'm not talking about an apocalyptic event in that a blinding flash.
I'm
talking about society.
Climate change. It could be anything.
I don't mean that either. I mean, if the way you live now suddenly stopped, no internet, no TV, no electricity, no running water.
It's not going to stop though.
No, but you miss my point. No running water, no plumbing, no anything like that. People wouldn't survive.
No, yeah.
You know, people would find it hard
because we've adapted.
Because we've lost the ability to live off the land.
Yeah, because we no longer need it. You know what I mean? Like, you look at it that way, like it's a, adaptation. Like, we've adapted to colony living, anthill fucking living, which is basically what we are now. You know what I mean? We're hives. We live in fucking,
I don't think we're as productive as a hive or an anthill.
Well, no, actually, yeah. You know what I mean? That we're living on top of each other. That's basically what I was.
Oh, rats.
Yeah, maybe rats. Yeah, okay, we're
yeah.
rats. We live on top of each other. All right, fair enough. You know what I mean, though, yeah?
I do, yeah.
Like, we don't need that knowledge of trapping or fucking anymore because...
Do you ever see those pictures, those aerial photographs of lost tribes in the Amazon?
Yeah.
That's fucking... Did you, like...
I don't think there's any of them left now even, is there? I think they've all...
Yeah, there is.
Is there still?
Yeah, there's tons of them. And there's those guys on North Sentinel Island.
The where now?
North Sentinel Island is an island in the Pacific that you can't go to. It's illegal to go there.
Yeah.
It's illegal to go there. And
illegal under whose law though?
If you land on the beaches in North Sentinel Island,
they'll kill you.
They kill you.
Okay, that's fair enough then.
So they've just said they're completely away and isolated. Not that they're isolationists, but they don't want contact with other people.
That's fair.
And apparently in the 18th century,
I feel like that's
in the 18th century, a missionary went there.
Oh, of course he did. Of fucking course it was a missionary. Yeah.
Apparently what he did to the people there, abusively.
Yeah, manipulation, abuse, fucking, yeah.
They said no fucking way, and they've never had any contact.
Fucking Bible,
and they don't wait.
Yeah.
No, lads, no, we don't mean you any harm. They'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
They're waiting on the shoreline to fucking kill your ass.
Good.
So they're isolated. There's loads in the Amazon are isolated.
I didn't realise there was still like...
it's huge.
I know, yeah. Well, yeah, but it's fucking shrinking.
It is, and it's disgraceful.
Palm oil, fucking...
Plantations, all that bullshit. Yeah. But here's the thing about these palm oil plantations. The Amazon, even though it's got these big fucking trees and thick, lush vegetation, all that kind of thing,
yeah.
The soil is not very good for growing shit, apart from the shit that grows in it. Yeah. And the shit that grows in it that loses its leaves, that fall onto the forest floor, that then break down back into the soil to re-energize the soil and make it grow again, is all gone when that land is stripped for palm oil plantations.
I know, yeah.
And after a couple of years, those palm oil plantations can't grow palm oil plants anymore because there's nothing to regenerate the soil. So the Amazon is a really unique spot.
Oh, it is. It's got the ecosystem.
No, I don't mean lungs of the earth. It is the lungs of the earth and all that kind of thing. And it is its own unique ecosystem. But the fact that they're clearing it and getting rid of it, they're not clearing it for good earth to grow stuff.
No.
It's fucking bullshit for growing stuff. It's not great soil for growing stuff. And it only grows stuff so well when it's got that cyclical thing, growth and death, and fall in and rot and degrade, go back into the earth and more growth. And that's the only way
but that
it
can be
works.
artificially done with, fucking nutrients,
pesticides and all that bollocks. Yeah, fuck off.
Which I'm sure they're doing if they're industrialising this fucking palm oil production.
Yeah, well,
But it's not, it's just... Okay.
Yeah, but there's
I don't know enough about it to get really angry, but they're born in the Amazon forest.
I'd love
that
to
cannot
do
be
that.
good,
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, no, fair play.
I'd love to. And I'd love to try ayahuasca.
What's that? Oh, that's the fucking psychedelic fucking tea stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a go with that now.
I want to drink it. I want to do that whole experience, but I want to do it with tribes.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to just fucking go on the internet and...
I mean the whole fucking, the whole tea
I want
ritual.
the whole experience. I'd like to do it in South America.
Yeah, that'd be
so that's my bucket list.
That'd be
That's two things on my bucket list.
Yeah. Yeah, my bucket list is way more boring than that.
No, mine is fucking...
I want to go to an Olympic Games. That's one of them. And I'm thinking of going to Paris if I can. See how it goes.
Being there?
Yeah, no, I mean for the Olympics.
Nah, fuck that.
I'm trying to get over.
I actually have no... I didn't think whenever I see anything about the fucking Olympics being in Paris, I didn't go, I want to go and see that.
Well, no, I did because it's local. You know what I mean? In a sense.
Relatively.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fucking Tokyo last time. You know what I mean? Now, and fucking London.
There as well.
London, we were going to do. We had tickets for London and all, bought for the boxing, and it turned out like flights and hotels were like fucking $2,000 to fly to fucking London.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean. It's fucking 30 quid this week, and it's fucking $2,000 next week.
Yeah,
and you couldn't get a hotel room for love.
Well, you're not going to get that in Paris either.
I know. Yeah, it's the same fucking kind of thing. We were going to fly over for the day to London, just do a day, but.
That's an awful long day.
It is, and it's like,
that's a red-eye flight in the morning and a red-eye back at night.
Yeah, and then you're trying to pick what's the best day to go for, do you pick the medal fights and then Irish bloody boxers aren't in the medal fights? Now, in the end, they were. Katie won the gold. I mean, that obviously would have been the one to go for.
Oh, no, it was Katie in 2012. Yeah, no, excuse me. You're right. I'm wrong.
Or do you get the early rounds that are pretty meaningless, but at least you're guaranteed of seeing.
You know what I loved?
The Irish boxers, that way. And it was so, we really wanted to go for the week and be there for the whole fucking boxing tournament. That's, that was the plan, but we just couldn't get hotels. We had tickets for the whole week.
I loved in Japan in 2022. Yeah.
Okay.
When the Irish crowd walked into the arena, the way they do all the waving and hello and here we are and they were flying the flag.
I love the opening ceremony, I love it.
Kelly Harrington, when they walked in and all the ladies stand around their kimonos and all that kind of thing, waving and all that kind of thing.
Bowed.
She bowed.
She bowed at them, yes.
And caught them off guard that they had to quickly turn and bow back. Yeah. But the whole Irish outfit bowed. And apparently that was her suggestion.
It was her idea,
yeah. I loved that. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
she's fantastic.
We went to her homecoming there when she come home. We were just literally standing across from her mum and dad's house, actually. That bus was going down the street. Absolutely great. She's great.
Yeah, she is.
Lovely girl. Lovely girl altogether. But we were out in Bray for.
She's over there this time, isn't she?
Yeah, she's qualified. Yeah. See, Amy Broadhurst has gone to what you call it, Team GB, and in fairness to her, look, you can't blame her. Right, she's in the same weight division as Kelly Harrington. Right, she went up a weight. She went up to 66 kilos to try and qualify for Ireland at 66 kilos, and she got beaten in the national final.
Yeah.
Right. So she's not good enough at 60 kilos. Or sorry, at 66 kilos, but she's probably one of the best in the world at 60 kilos. Yeah. It's just unfortunate that the Olympic champion is in this country in that division.
Well, unfortunate for her. No, I do.
So she's going for GB, and she's going to qualify easily for GB.
There's also, who's the golfer?
Oh, Rory McIlroy.
Yeah. He turned out for Ireland, and he did all his training in the north of Ireland.
Yeah, like he's from the north.
And the English were kicking up stink.
Yeah.
Because he turned out for Ireland.
Yeah, but that's a kind of different situation because Rory's from the north. Amy Broadhurst isn't from the north.
No, I know, but I can understand both him qualifying and turning out for Ireland and the argument against him.
Oh yeah, because they funded all his training and everything else. Yeah, no, absolutely. I can totally get that as well. And I mean, it's the very same argument made about bloody Declan Rice.
Yeah.
And what's his name, Grealish. The FAI brought them up from schoolboy level up to under 21s, and in Declan Rice's case, actually into the senior setup in 3 caps, and then he went to England. Do you know what I mean? Like that's. But anyway, we've gone way off topic. Yeah. Are we even still recording?
Hugh Glass, everybody.
Yeah, Hugh Glass.
Okay. See you later.
Thanks. Bye bye.